All right, welcome to another Bragging Rights. This week, a little light on painting, but I did paint a few things. I've been playing a lot of Gloomhaven, so I did want to paint a few of those minis, and I've had some projects sitting around that I wanted to test out some stuff. I'm going to continue to do that in the coming weeks. So I'll start with one of those tests. So I have a lot of 3D printed ships for Black Seas and Mantic's Kings of War Armada. And I wanted to get some low effort painting done because I'd like to have just a ton of ships available for like a big multiplayer game. And I also want to be comfortable with these ships being in the hands of, potentially strangers at like a convention game. So this is one of those tests. I primed with a kind of bestial brown color, whatever Vallejo calls it, spray. I hit it with Vallejo's sepia wash, and then I dry brushed the sails with a bone color and then a white color, and did a little flag, did a little blue trim to kind of bring out the Frenchness of this ship, and then called it good, really. Obviously there's some gunmetal color on the cannons and on the anchors, but that was it. It was very quick. Didn't really require much of my attention, and obviously I was a little sloppy with it. On the basing, I went with the same AK Atlantic basing. I did 2 layers of it, then I washed it with a blue, and then I glossed it. In retrospect, I really should have done that in different order. I recommend for a recipe for basing is use the AK Atlantic, put down one coat, and then wait for 24 hours for it to dry. Then hit that with a blue wash or a blue contrast paint, whatever to taste, and you can even mix some greens in there and some grays in there. Then put one more layer of the Atlantic over that after 24 hours of drying, and then put on some of the seafoam. That's how I would do it if I was going to redo this, and that's how I'm going to do it for, I believe, the rest of the ships in this series, because I do have another like 15 of them. So pretty decent sized fleet. My friends in Maine have a lot of ships, so I think it'd be really cool to put together kind of a con game with their collections. All right, let me go on to Gloomhaven stuff. I'm going to start with no spoiler models, and then I'll pause real briefly and let you exit if you don't want to see spoiler models. It's just painted figures from the Gloomhaven base game, but they're ones that are not open when you first start. So one that is open when you first start is the Inox Brew. I did the Slapchop method. So I primed this black, then I dry brushed a gray, then I dry brushed a very light gray. The light gray I used, I believe, was Stone Golem, and then I dry brushed a white on top of that, and then used Army Painter speed paints and contrast paints. I didn't really like the result. I think part of it is the model itself. This is a pretty wonky model. It's a board game model to start with, and then on top of that, it's already, you can see, like, as he dips, he's already like malformed because it is soft plastic. And then finally, to kind of top it off, this is Gloomhaven's earliest model attempts. Details really not there. So when I was done with Slapchop, I felt like it still needed highlights. So I highlighted some metal, some gold, his skin, his eyes, and I think these little skull details. But for a board game piece, and just quick thing I did on lunch break, pretty happy with it. So another non-spoiler, this is from the game Jaws the Lion. This is, again, one of the starting characters. This is the Red Guard, kind of like a demon-born paladin. He's got this nasty hook. So I did not highlight this guy other than the metal pieces. This is a pretty uninspiring model to paint to begin with, just because big flat areas and the Codex color scheme is just red, with some gray and gunmetal. But he's ready for the table now. I really prefer to play Gloomhaven and games like this in general with painted miniatures. So this is fun. My game group does the same. more non-spoilers. These are the starter, or 3 of the starters from Frosthaven. So we'll start here with I think it's called the Banner Spear. And this is the character I'm going to play in our Frosthaven campaign, which I'm hoping we're going to start next week. Really excited. We've just finished, or we're just about to finish Jaw of the Lion, and then we're moving right into Frosthaven. So that's going to be my character. And then I'll also have a secondary home campaign going with my wife, 2-player, and we're going to play the Inox Drifter. Probably she'll play that one. And then this is I think it's called the Death Walker. It's that symbol. I'm going to play the Death Walker. She kind of jumps around from shadow to shadow. Just seems like a really cool, kind of combo-y, complex character. Now, I use Slapchop on these as well, but as you can see, I did highlight some of the brighter colors over Slapchop. All in all, Slapchop didn't really save me any time and didn't seem to give a good effect. I prefer to just use a uniform prime with contrast and then highlights over it. I feel like that gives better results overall. But it was a nice little experiment. On the bases, I had some snow material from Games Workshop from, probably 12, 15 years ago, that kind of era. And I don't really like it. It's static grass, for one, which just doesn't seem right for snow. It has an effect, so it does look okay, I guess, but I'm really looking for a new snow solution. So if you wouldn't mind, comment and let me know your preferred snow solution for basing, something that's easy to use and or something that looks good, please let me know, because this didn't work out for me. This was water, glue, and a little bit of white paint mixed together in a little medicine tub. And then kind of spread on with a sculpting tool. Again, it looks okay. I mean, you can tell it's meant to be snow, but just doesn't look the way I quite want it. One thing I do want to note, these Frosthaven minis are so much higher quality than Jaws of the Lion or Gloomhaven before them. Like, especially this Inox Drifter. I just, they're certainly nowhere near kind of a War Games quality of figure, but really fun details and a lot of character. They were fun to paint. Okay, so now I'm going to show 3 models, and these are technically spoilers because these are boxes that you open in the game of Gloomhaven. So if you don't want to see them, drop off. That's the last things I'm going to show for this video. Okay, now I'm going to show them. So this is the character I'm playing in my home campaign with my wife. Is the Sunkeeper. She's kind of a priestess of light. Pretty cool character. So I have been doing codex schemes on all of the Gloomhaven related material. So this is based off the box art. She was pretty fun to do. For her skin tone, I used kind of like a horse flesh tone. I thought that came out okay. Little boring of a color scheme, so I was hoping to work in some more color on the base. I put a little purple here. I'm probably going to do something here like a gray rock or something like that. But she was fun to do, and like I said, it's really, I don't know, it's really more fun for me having painted minis when I play these games. And then here's my wife's character. A little tiny beast tyrant. So it's a little vermling kind of beast master, and comes with a cool little summonable bear that does a lot of the fighting. So pretty awesome. The bear is meant to have like a carved wood armor, so I went for that look here. This bear, I thought, did Slapchop pretty well. I thought she did Slapchop pretty well, although I did highlight a lot, all the medals highlighted. This guy, the actual Vermling Beast Tyrant himself, I don't feel like I gained much from Slapchop, but it looks passable for a board game component. But that's it. Hope you enjoy this. And just one more note, all the basing material is Vallejo Dark Earth basing gel, and then Tajima 1 tufts. So kind of my go-to products for basing right now. All right, well, have a great week, and hopefully I'll be showing off some more stuff next week.